my son passed away in 2020. When he passed away, he was at an ICU in a hospital, and we made the gut-wrenching decision to disconnect him from life support. And when we did that, we, of course, were standing at the foot of his bed. I was actually stroking his hair and his head, and we watched him die in about 15 minutes it took for him to pass after he was disconnected from all the things that were keeping him alive. And that was excruciatingly painful. And he's told us that he was there watching us go through this. He was above his body. He saw us in the room. He saw him disconnected. He saw us crying. And he thanked us for all that. But then he said he moved and suddenly found himself in a very simple church with pews and wooden pews and a center aisle. And down the center aisle came this man clothed in a white robe and a beard, brown hair. And his description, now he was telling us this while he was still in Life Review. His description of this person certainly matched my understanding of what Jesus looks like. And so I asked him, have you met Jesus? And he said, no, he had not. And that kind of concluded that particular session with Matt. But later on, so that was maybe 6-7 months ago, he was still in Life Review. My mother came through a couple weeks ago and she said, Matt, my son, is done with Life Review. And I said, has he met Jesus? And she said, yes, he has. And then she told me, without me even asking, she said, he met him earlier, but he did not know it was Jesus. That fascinated me because it reminded me of the story in the Bible. You know, when Jesus is crucified on Good Friday, next day, I think it is, the disciples, some of his disciples are walking on the road to a town called Emmaus in wherever it was then, Israel, I guess. And the disciples were talking to Jesus, and they were asking him, have you heard about all the events that took place in Jerusalem? And he said he had not. And so they talked a lot about this, and they did not realize they were talking to a man that they had known and spent time with. And suddenly he revealed himself, and they realized who he was, and he disappeared. So I think that may have been the same thing my son experienced. He spent time with Jesus, but he didn't know it was Jesus, and now he does. So when I ask the question, where is Jesus? What I mean is, where is he in this plan that seems to be unfolding as I interview these souls? I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to interview souls and ask them, are you in Life Review? How long did it take you to get through Life Review if you're done? Who was your greeter? Have you met Jesus? What is it like where you are? There's a lot of stories about, and I'm not going to use it on this particular video, but a lot of things I've learned about what souls are doing as they're done with Life Review. One last thing too about Life Review, you can't apparently come back to this life to talk to somebody on this side until you've reached a certain point in Life Review. I don't think it's time related. Time is different there. You know, everybody says that, but Spirit has told me that time is different there. But there are some souls that are there that can't talk to us. My grandfather, for example, has been there for a long, long time. My grandmother said he can't talk to us because he's still in Life Review. Whereas Matt reached a certain point, he came back. My medium friend, RM, one of her relatives, she was told that he could not talk to her because he was in Life Review. And then just last week, he came through. And she said, I'm surprised to hear from you. And he said, I'm at a point now where I can talk to you. So, again, is that a universal truth? I don't know. Is it certainly not doctrine? A lot of this stuff would have got me burned at the stake probably a couple hundred years ago. But it's what's happening. It's what I'll share with you. If it interests you, please, I encourage you to, subscribe wherever you're seeing this. Subscribe, follow, however that works. And you'll continue to get updates as I do this. Thanks again. Bye-bye.